Welcome, welcome, everybody. We have quite a, oh, I thought I hit pause and I didn't. I see that we have quite a lot of new members today, and I'm so excited. I am here for it. My name is Karen. I'm going to be your host today. I am a user as of 3 years with Silk and Saunders, and I can honestly say it has changed my life. And I have never filled out every single page, and some weeks are better than others. But the progress I have made is really life changing. So, those of you who are new, you're in for a ride of improving your life, being a part of a wonderful community. It's just honestly fabulous. And in the chat, I have my very lovely Jen O, who is going to be there supporting us, answering any questions you have. So she'll be there supporting you for any kind of tech questions, any kind of encouragement you need, all the things. She's there, and I just love working with Jen. It's so much fun. If it is your first time, a couple little things for housekeeping. This is a cameras off event, so you don't have to worry. I'm the only one who has to be on camera, and I looked a hot mess, so I threw a sweatshirt on, so I looked a little less hot messy. But the chat is how we communicate and we share with each other. So please make sure that you go to everyone, unless you're just wanting Jen O and myself to see, which if that's the case, that's awesome. But if you're like, why is no one responding? And they're responding to everyone else, it may be because your chat is set to host and panelist. If you're on an iPhone, I think that it resets itself as you go back and forth. So just be aware that sometimes it does reset itself. So keep an eye on that if you are not on a computer. Honestly, I think the computer gives us the best version, but I know not everyone has a computer handy, and you may be on the go doing all those kinds of things. So I love this picture in this screen. It says every day is a new day to get started. Every single day is just the beginning. And I don't know about you, but last week was a little rough for me as far as my goals and some of the things I wanted to accomplish. But it is a brand new week this week, and I am here for it and very excited about digging in and setting ourselves up for success for this next week. I'm my computer kind of didn't work the way it usually does, so it may take me a second to like change screens and turn the camera on and off. My setup got messed up, and I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But as far as our Silk and Sonder guidelines go, be courteous to yourself and to everyone else, but especially to yourself. Come into this with that fresh start. No promotions or spam. Respect everyone's privacy. It's like Vegas. What happens here stays here. Even if you know them outside in the real world, what they share here doesn't go outside these walls. That's why the chat isn't on that YouTube channel for one reason. No hate speech or bullying. If you have questions, and I know newbies love to know, like, what is your favorite pins? Where do you get those amazing stickers? All of the things. Feel free to ask, but just kind of keep it down to one, and we can kind of chime in on some of those things. Any issues you have with customer service, please email hello@silkandsonder.com, and Jen O will throw that into the chat for you. If you're like, my journal's late or it's missing pages or anything, or my dog ate it, anything like that, send it to them. They are awesome about responding very quickly, but do remember that team is a weekday team, so they will not get back to you till Monday. And then Sonder Socials are a tool to help elevate your emotional health through the power of community, but you are responsible for your own emotions, well-being, and decisions. So this one is kind of light and fluffy. It's not going to get super deep, but some of the socials do get kind of deep. And if it finds it triggering or it finds it too emotional, you never have to fill out your journal at that point. You are always welcome to open up that coloring page and listen to the music or be a part of the community. Also, if you are a brand new member, it can be overwhelming. I know this. So a couple of hints that I have for you is that you may want to just take screenshots and notes of things that you like, and then work on the journal at a later time so that you can really engage with the chat. Especially if you are someone who really enjoys making it kind of a crafty project with stickers and washi tape and those kinds of things. If you're like me and you use one color ink and sometimes you throw some stickers on it, then you'll be fine filling out as we go. And then, yeah, Jen takes notes at the setup, and then she actually sets up her journal a little bit later. And it's true, there are lots of great ideas in the chat. And every time I host, I see something new that I absolutely love that one of you have created. So our agenda today is we are going to go into our delight mind map. I'll explain a little more about that in a minute. We have our rosebud thorn, which is one of our favorite activities at Silk and Saunders. I absolutely love it. As a camp director, I used it with the kids to end the day. It's a great dinner time conversation if you have kids around the table, or even college kids. I don't know if if you just have a husband, if he'll go for it or not, but maybe he would. Then we're going to set up our week, and then we're going to close out. So our delight mind map is something that we do every single week, exploring the theme's topic. It is not a journal prompt in your journal. This can be done on one of the blank note pages in your journal, but it can also be in a place that you don't use in your weekly setup, or even that scratch pad is a fun place to be able to do it. Now I'm going to show some examples of the way other Silk and Saunders people have utilized other spaces in their journal in just a second. This month, we're going to explore delight through each of our 5 senses. We have 5 different weekends to discuss on delight this month. So this week, we are focusing on sound. So we've discussed smells, touch, and this week we're diving into smell. Here are some examples of the way other people have set theirs up. I love this one over on the left-hand side. They've drawn little pictures with the smell and they've listed it out. Maya, one of our other facilitators in Gen O, have taken to using the page with the definition of the word. So that's an area that you could utilize to create this. Someone else, because there were 5 senses, drew a flower with 5 petals, 1 for each sense, which I thought was really cute. And then here's someone who just did a traditional mind map and just drew the quadrants. And that's usually the way I utilize mine. So for me, some of these, I didn't want to delete one of these. I have mine done here. You can see my mind map is very, very basic, but I love these examples, so I didn't want to delete one. So I didn't take a picture of mine. So I'm just going to share mine right out loud. Well, welcome, Christian. We are diving into sound. So sounds that I absolutely love is I love hearing music, rain, especially in Northern California. I've lived here almost 10 years, and this winter is the first time I may have gotten a little tired of rain. I love wind howling, the sounds of the ocean crashing. I love hearing my little Snickers with his little baby snore when he's in a deep, deep sleep, or those little sounds that he makes when he's dreaming. And then I absolutely love the sounds of spring, which the crickets chirping or those birds chirping. It's such a beautiful thing. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to play a quick song, and I'm going to allow you guys to work. And in the chat, let us know what sounds you absolutely love to hear. And maybe it will spark a memory for somebody else. All right, I'll be back in a couple. I loved reading these. I had a huge smile on my face from Brenda talking about Jin O's voice being very soothing and comforting, to Amber talking about the chiropractic cracks, to all of those baby sounds, kittens purring, leaves crashing under the feet. But I feel like y'all are ready for summer because I saw a lot of campfire and kind of summer noises, and I'm here for it too. So, our next I'm sorry, muted myself for a second. Our next section is that rosebud thorn. This is the one I said is great for dinner time conversation. The rose is a highlight, a bud is an emerging opportunity, and a thorn is a challenge. So we're working on page 36, which is last week's. Jen threw that into the chat. So I'm just going to go through mine. So a rose for me this week is that I had a beautiful time going to New York last week and I got to see the Karl Lagerfeld exhibit and was absolutely wonderful and had a great time with my husband, even if I'm crazy for going for 24 hours. A bud is an emerging opportunity, and an emerging opportunity I have is I have a new client with a lot of back pain and Pilates. And I had my first session with her, and her back pain did not increase. And so I'm really happy about that. And I'm hoping I can really give her some relief. And then a thorn is that I had an ovarian cyst rupture on Wednesday at 7 a.m. And if you've had one of those happen before, it is not fun and you don't feel necessarily great for a couple of days afterwards. Being a woman is hard sometimes. I'm not going to lie about that. Those hormones. So that is my rosebud thorn. Feel free in the chat to share all three, one, whatever. Thank you, Chris. I am feeling better. I actually did an advanced Pilates workout today. I was very pleased. I just didn't like lift my legs up in the air where like the lower abdomen is still a little bit tender. Okay, so love to hear what you are celebrating, challenges we can support you on. I'm going to go off camera, let you fill this out as I play another song. I love reading all the things that are going well. And that was Snickers who decided he needed to say hello to everyone since he's no longer coming to eat little bits of carrots when we're doing a cooking social. Yeah, little Snickers sighting. He's been in a mood all day. I'm not sure if it's just the good weather or what. But I'm so glad that you guys had so many roses to share. And those of you who are really struggling with some of those thorns, I'm right there with you. I'm holding space for you and thinking of you. And I know that this year or this week is going to be even better than the last. So we're going to dive into our main event, which is the weekly planner. If you are brand new, you may want to take a screenshot of this. I'm going through a lot of different examples right up front. So just because someone used one of these ideas in one section doesn't necessarily mean that you need to use it in the same section. So that's why it is. And yes, we are working on page 40. Can you believe 20 weeks already? So things that you might want to utilize. A meal tracker or a food tracker. Jen O uses hers to take care of making sure she doesn't give herself or her husband food poisoning with leftovers, which is a very smart idea if you don't have teenagers in the house going through a lot of food. A lot of people like using the daily affirmations from the app or scriptures to use in a section in their journal. Work, project, or study tracker. Exercise tracker, super, super popular. Cleaning plan. We have some fly ladies in the house, and I know that someone was talking about a mom of something in the app. I think I have an example of it. No, maybe I do. That they are utilizing to be able to get their house orderly. It might be a mindfulness activity planner, like maybe you are reflecting on the calm meditation you did that day. It could also be your weekly appointments. That's very popular as well. It is spring, so maybe a garden tracker for those of you who do that. Also very popular, tracking symptoms for health issues. A dream tracker, positives of the day. An outfit tracker, which is really nice if you are traveling. A national day of list, like if it's National Bacon Day or something like that. It's fun to celebrate those little minor holidays. TV or movie or even podcast or book watching or reading or plan. A gratitude log. Building routines. A lot of people, if they're trying to establish a morning or evening routine, really like to utilize those that way. Gratitude log. I already said that, sorry. Mini bingo boards, very, very popular. A hooray list celebrating the good things, even if they're small. And then I added one today, and I actually utilized my meal plan section this week. I got this from Gretchen Rubin's new book, Life in the Five Senses, and that at the end of each day, you reflect on one thing from each 5 sense that you notice. So did you smell or hear or taste, etc. And I think it's going to really put me in a more delightful mood. I am showing full pages so that you can utilize this in any section of your journal. What I love about this one on the left is that they kind of created their routine in that section. So they're gridding it off and marking it off. And you notice some goals, they are putting 7 days a week. And I bet you that is probably in their monthly habits as well. And guess what? It's okay to put it both places. I do a lot of the times when I'm establishing a new habit. A couple things I also want to remember that you want to remember is look, fall time with the girls. So put those things that you look forward to in there. It doesn't all have to be super productive. Over here on the right-hand side, I love that they did a goal for their body, mind, and soul. And then I also love how they created how they wanted to feel with those little highlighters, finding where they intersected. Another thing I want to point out is that they covered up the number of days that they were going to do it. And for one of mine this week, I haven't been good about my meditation. Sometimes it's maybe 3 or 4 times a week, not 7 days. So I'm not putting a number beside it at this point. These stickers are just so cute on the left-hand side. I just had to include it. Look at that cat. So stinking cute. So there's nothing wrong with prettying up your journal if it's an area you don't want to utilize. So go for it. Over here on the right-hand side, take a notice of the calendar. See how she has created like the Sonder Social so she remembers when the bills were due and errands, but you could do that with a lot of things, including your menstrual cycle, Or maybe if you are suffering from migraines and you have multiple day migraines, things like that. Come on, Sticky, come on up. Also under ways I want to feel, that they didn't choose just one thing, but they chose quite a few things. That Eisenhower matrix is a wonderful way to organize those to-dos. So there is the urgent and the not urgent. So it's the do, decide, delegate, and delete. And I will say I delegated a couple of things this week. I got Snickers 2 extra walks. He usually only goes on 1 pack walk because I walk him. And I'm so glad I did, especially when that cyst ruptured and I wasn't really mobile. In addition to that, I ordered more food that was already prepared. And so even though my husband wasn't around for me to delegate things to, I was able to utilize some services to take a little stress off of myself. Jen created this one and it's super cute. And the 3 goals, the frog, the thing that you don't want to do, but you need to do, that you do very first thing in the morning, fun and fruitful. Here's some other ones. I like the need to do, accomplishment, self to do, and family to do. They also are making their Eisenhower matrix. It's just a little jazzed up and a little pretty version of it. Over here on the right-hand side, the reason I chose this one is I love that they chose, depending on what was going on that day for them, how they wanted to feel. Like maybe on their day off, they want to feel a certain way, or maybe they have a very important meeting that they want to feel like very energized for. And then notice also that their goals are kind of a reflection, and that's okay too. And that she put a sticker over the section. Maybe she's traveling or something's going on where she's not going to be meeting those I lied. I lied on that one. I just went off. I went off without looking very closely. Look, she did it with the Vibrance playlist, but there's no reason you can't do a delight playlist in this section as well. It was so funny. Snickers, it's your fault. You distract me. He feels very bad. And then over here, that left one's in the wrong place, but on the right-hand side, open and calm, being in bed by 10:30, intentional morning routine, getting the garden set up and planned. So I just love this. And that she put something like she's going to exercise, but she's also going to do the crossword puzzle and practice her sax. And she also has a no goal in there for no alcohol. So in the chat, I want to know how you want to feel this way. Steph told us already last week, she really embodied that word and thought about it often, and it really helped guide her week. One thing you can do is put it on a sticky note, put it on your mirror, or maybe make it your phone background. But let us know in the chat, how do you want to feel? Molly wants to feel happy. I want to feel effervescent this week. That is my word of the year, and I feel like I haven't been revisiting it. So that's one of the ones that I am hoping to do. Motivated, inspired. What else? Competent. How do you want to feel? Are you wanting to feel more than one way? Hopeful, calm, productive. Yeah, these are all wonderful ways that you are going to want to be able to feel accomplished. So go ahead and jot that down in that section. Colleen's saying that she's hoping to feel calm, productive, and energized to be able to get the things done around the house in the evening. Amber wants to feel angry. But in therapy, she's been working on how women are socialized to repressed anger. You know, a part of my health coaching, they talk a lot about like letting that inner child out in a safe way. So I totally get that. Open and expressive, accomplished at work and at home. Yeah. I know a lot of us, we were people pleasers because there may have been some insecurity in our houses. And so we kind of shoved everything down. And so we didn't really express that anger or those emotions because we were kind of the peacekeepers and those people pleasers. Yeah, Amber is holding that anger can contribute to pain. There's a book called The Body Keeps Score, and our body holds that trauma, unfortunately. I struggle with that as well. So our next section is the weekly major 3 goals. So some way that you can think about it. You can use your May intentions, hint, hint, if you haven't looked at those in a couple of weeks since you wrote them at the monthly, and your habit tracker to set up your weekly goals. And they can be the same if you were struggling with one, or you could break that goal down into some smaller parts. Setting goals through the lens of delight, of doing just goals of things that delight you. Create 3 no goals that affect your life in a positive way, like no alcohol, no doom scrolling, no takeout, no DoorDash. Look at the previous week's journals and see what outstanding goals that you may still want to accomplish. Or frame your goals around a single personal challenge of the week. Maybe you're doing a fitness challenge. I know we have a lot of people who enjoy, um, oh, I just forgot, Adrienne's yoga. Yeah, the yoga, she absolutely, a lot of people love hers. I like to do like smoothie or salad challenges. I always find it fun and energizing. So those are ways that you could do that. So, which too far hit it. So I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to create what you want, your 3 goals. And remember, it doesn't have to be 3 goals. It could be 1 goal. It could be 5 goals. Just because it says 3 doesn't mean you have to do 3. Make it make sense to you. And also look back at those intentions and think about what kind of week you're having. If this is a crazy busy week, maybe it's not time to create a really big lofty goal. Just keep that in mind. Okay, awesome. I love that people are really talking about that it's really hard not to get distracted by energy thing into things that we shouldn't. I'm very guilty of that. We are very easy as humans to get sidetracked. Um, so let's go ahead and dig into the next section, our weekly to-dos. Now, I utilize mine as really just like what it sounds like. Mine is pretty empty right now for my to-dos. Oop, I'm on the wrong page. I was flipping through, I was going back and looking at my intentions and said, am I fulfilling my intentions? But mine's kind of empty right now. I got two things listed in there. But I add to it as the week goes on, as things come up of things I need to get accomplished. But some people are definitely a little more creative with it. So some people like to utilize this with their spring routine. This is such a cute slide. It is from our Instagram page on Silk and Saunders. If you're not there, it's some really good content. So maybe some of the spring routines are going for a walk or planting or gratitude or some decluttering, a reading list for spring. I bet there's some people who would be totally down for that in this group. Or maybe you're savoring those seasonal fruits and vegetables, and maybe you're trying to get some new colors into your diet and eating the rainbow. Go on D&D, treat yourself, make a new playlist. That's all about vibrance. Oh, I'm sorry. That was last month, all about delightful, like delightfulness, delight. Thank you. Okay, going on a picnic, trying out a new hobby, or spending time with loved ones. Here are some awesome examples of the ways that you could utilize that bingo list. The ta-da seems to be very popular of writing the things that comes from Gretchen Rubin of the things that you accomplish, just writing it down as you go. Someone in a social a couple of weeks ago said that they use their to-do list and then their shopping list is their ta-da list. So they like to see where they've accomplished things that weren't necessarily on their list, but some of the things on their list too, and they celebrate it there. And I thought that was really cool. Here's someone who just did a plain old bingo board, and someone else who did a want versus needs. And then there is that Eisenhower matrix. And remember, the results will rarely come without the process of gradual steps towards it first. And please know if you have to, if you have to move some things from one week to the next, you're not alone, friends. You are not alone. It's okay. And you can also use this for things that you don't want to forget, like appointments or anything like that as well. Or a reminder to yourself of like, I want to delight in the five senses. Okay, I'm going to give you a little time. Let us know what's on your to-do list or how you're repurposing. All right, we're getting philosophical over here about our goals. So Jen O just answered, maybe the goal is move my body, and the to-do would be like walk 30 minutes twice this week or do an online class and stretch for 10 minutes each. So it's those little baby steps of like, I want to move more, I want to eat healthier. So maybe those to-dos is like pick up 5 colors of vegetables that week, or, so it's the steps versus the big encompassing, what are you wanting to accomplish? So our next section, and the to-dos can tie into the goals. Mine don't always, but a lot of times they actually do. The next section is our habit and activity. So the newbies here, I know you're like, why is there a monthly habit activity tracker and why is there a weekly? The activity one in the monthly is the things you want to do every single day. These are ones that maybe you want to do like twice a week or 3 times a week or something along those lines. Things to maybe keep in mind while you're doing this is you might want to utilize this section as a self-care checklist. Maybe you're wanting to make sure you're getting your movement or your time outside, or you're doing things that delight you, staying hydrated, declutter or tidy up. Or maybe it's a not to-do list and check off what you didn't do, like multitasking or focusing on the negative, etc. And Steph, you are so right. You're not going to be, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but you can see I have a little shiny sticker next to one of mine right here. One of mine is I need to study for my national exam. I need to get it done before July. Otherwise, my certification, I'm gonna have to get a bunch of hours in. So I had an intention that I wanted to study and I haven't been utilizing it. So I put a little sticker next to it to bring it front and center that I will actually start getting this part accomplished. Other way you could utilize this are the steps in maybe a morning or evening routine, like staying committed, doing some deep breathing, maybe doing a brain dump, savoring a warm drink, those types of things. Oop, one too many. So I'm going to go back to the habit activity. I'll go through these 3 slides as you work if you are wanting to take inspiration from them. I do love these nighttime habits. I have a very specific nighttime habit. Those of you who've been with me for a while, I have an ocean light that I put up onto the ceiling. I put on my lavender diffuser, and as soon as I turn that on, Snickers comes running, and it's just like, okay, it's time to snuggle. So animals love those rituals as much as us humans do. It's kind of funny. Okay, so we're moving on to the next page. We have page 41, and don't forget, I also have to set up my CPAP machine, which is just so much fun, let me tell you. So I'm gonna go through all of this, and then I'm gonna give you quite a bit of time to work on it. I know we're running out of time. We always do, because there's so many good things in the chat. Okay, some people use it for affirmations, marking their health, stickers, totally fine to put stickers over things that you don't like. Over here on the right, I like how she color coded this. So like the day that she did yoga, she put it down. When she did self-care, she put it down, but it wasn't attached to a specific day. So she had more flexibility. She has that beautiful ta-da bingo that she's filling out as she goes, or as she's crossing off as she goes. Over here, I haven't got rid of this slide because I just love it so much. The feels and meals. I love this if you are someone who has an allergy or chronic acid reflux like I have, that maybe after you eat certain things, you're going to be able to figure out what is a trigger maybe for migraines or anything like that. I also love the feel and need of like, I feel this, what do I need? Because I don't know about you, sometimes I grab like a glass of wine and that's not really what I need. Or maybe I want chips and that's not what my body needs. I need rest or etc. Or maybe I need some water. Over here on the right hand side, and she's using her meal plan for her week at a glance. Her fitness stuff is on the right hand side. That's what I use for mine too. And then her shopping list are things that she needs to get done. And look how cute, all the things that she's writing down that she is loving right now. Over here, someone's using that GLAD acronym, which is grateful, learned, achieved, delighted. People really enjoy that one. They have created another bingo board and used a quote. Over here on the right-hand side, I love the scripture study and the say no, the unshopping list as a reminder of like, hey, you don't need to go to Grubhub. There's food in the house. Just like our parents used to say when we wanted to go to McDonald's for a Happy Meal, we got food at home. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see that some things are wanting to do 5 times a week, sometimes 7. Over here on the right is that open and calm. We looked at that one earlier because I put it in the wrong place. So that meal plan is the biggest section that people like to repurpose the most. So here are some examples of someone using the 7 types of rest. Honestly, I don't love that because ultimately the 7 types of rest are to identify what type of rest you need and utilize that type of rest to rejuvenate you. Maybe you don't need sensory rest right now. Maybe you need to do mental rest more than once. So that's why, even though it's very popular, it's not my favorite. But if it really makes a difference for you, be my guest, we're all different, right? There's no right or wrong way to Sonder. Using it for their daily affirmations, or here is someone using it for their cleaning section. The mind body health plan. Some people are using like, we're going to do meatless Monday and TV free Tuesday and walking Wednesday. And I think that's so cute. I actually might steal that one. Here they are with their mental health plan, their meal plan. Someone changed it. There's that types of rest one more time. And then a chore bingo. Shopping list. Some people like to do their Wordle there or their Sudoku score. A packing list, the errands they need to do, energy runner or givers, all of those types of things and the things that you are loving. So I'm going to give you a big chunk of time. I'm going to keep scrolling through those examples so that you can see them, and I'm going to let you work. We'll be back in a little bit. All right, beautiful friends. I'm so glad we got to spend this time together. I hope that you are absolutely feeling ready for the week ahead. And I encourage you to share what you are comfortable sharing in Sonder Club. That's where we get these beautiful examples. And when you guys are prolific, we get to pull all kinds of great things to be able to share with everyone else. So not only are you sharing and holding yourself accountable, you are influencing the community, because even if someone doesn't see that post, it may actually be in one of our slideshows. You never know, you might actually see it in the slideshow the next time you're there. Um, then this technical difficulty is driving me nuts. I apologize. Thank you for your patience. I rebooted my computer and everything. At least the camera is not looking right up my nose like it was before. So refer a friend today. They get $10. You get $10. There's products besides the journals. If you want the bath bombs and candles, and that wild candle, it smells so good. And then go ahead and share that feedback. Let them know you want a book club. Let them know about a time that you want to do. If you're still really wanting a Sonder retreat, blow their mailbox up with it. We are here to be able to make this the best experience for you and to make this for you. And then also know that these are recorded. It takes a couple days for them to get posted, and there is the link for that. The chat's not there. Sometimes the music is or isn't. If there's any Disney music, usually not, because of copyright issues. I am going to post my beautiful playlist in here. And then I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and those of you who have a bittersweet relationship with Mother's Day like myself. I'm letting you know that I'm holding a space for you. I hope that you are absolutely prepared for the week, and we will see you next time.
Watch me move, watch me how I work it. Shoulders back, cause I know I'm worth it. I'm feeling strong, feeling bold, feeling powerful. I walk with swagger, cause I know I own it. I'm a strut, I'm a strut. Whoa, oh, oh. Light it up, light it up. Whoa, oh, oh. Here I come now, watch out, here I come now. I'm a strut, I'm a strut. I'm gonna rock this house like no one before. I'm gonna burn it down with fire and gold. I'm gonna stand up, stand up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Light it up, light it up. This is my night. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is my night. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm the boss and I'm owning this state. Catwalk, I could do this all day. Hold my head up high like I run the world. Get in the game cause I came here to play. I'm a strut, I'm a strut. Whoa, oh, oh. Light it up, light it up. Whoa, oh, oh. Here I come now, watch out, here I come now. I'm a strut, I'm a strut. I'm gonna rock